Ladies and gentlemen, the moment we've all been waiting for, the grand finals of DreamHack Atlanta are upon us, and it's going to be a best of 7 between Gale Force Esports and the Muffin Men. It's been a great tournament, 3 days long. We've narrowed it down to 2 teams, gentlemen, and these 2 teams, one of them is going home with the grand prize and quite the title on their shoulders.
Luckily for this Gale Force team, they just finished a fantastic best of 7, coming in hot, defending that title yet again over Envious. 3 series in a row that they haven't lost to them. As for the Muffin Men, they've been able to sit and watch, and I'm curious to see if that's going to pay any difference because they haven't played for an entire series.
Yeah, the North American David versus the EU Goliath. This is the clash of the 2 regions. We love it when the finals come out this way. We could not have asked for a better story. The Muffin Men on a breakout performance right now, while Gale Force Esports trying to get their 2nd title of this summer after winning in Brisk. Gonna see if they can do it here again at DreamHack. But either way, gonna have a fantastic champion.
Yeah, and you actually really wouldn't believe it. They both have a lot of really similar numbers. They both put in about 2.5 goals per game. They both allow about 1.5 goals per game as well. So it should be a really close match. They already played earlier in the tournament as well, that one going to 5 games, and of course Gale Force coming out on top in that one.
I mean, you say it's the NA David, but look at the teams they've already taken out. They've already taken out 2 Goliaths.
This is their 3rd.
They took out NRG and G2 on their way here, them being the Muffin Men, and now they're looking out to take another one.
This would be quite the tournament run if they were able to pull it off against 3. We can take a look at the bracket as Fickle was alluding to where they came from. You see the Muffin Men up there in the top, 3-0 sweeping NRG Esports. And then in 6 games, which was more or less 7, given the 5-minute overtime we had in Game 6, they beat G2 Esports. And now their biggest opponent yet, Gale Force, the European Titan, is the only thing that stands in between them and this championship.
Other than NRG, that's pretty much the team everybody's been looking out for. Their performance has been extremely consistent, but just hasn't been able to reach it just yet. 2nd place in every major land so far this offseason. Even though it doesn't really feel like an offseason, it's flying by this summer. And they're just trying to break that 2nd place curse. We asked Turbo, like, what is it? And he's like, if I knew, I would have told you, and we probably wouldn't be in 2nd. So they're trying to figure that out in the middle of this game.
Yeah. And honestly, it really is a toss-up of whether or not they can do it. We've already seen some incredible performances out of the Muffin Men so far, and it's honestly, you have a case for Muffin Men to say, yeah, they can beat Gale Force Esports. They've got a very high-powered offense. They've put in just a few more goals per game, about almost over half a goal more than them. So it's really close. It depends if that defense holds out for Gale Force.
For sure. Well, I'll get into predictions here in a moment, but I want to take a moment to thank our sponsors, HyperX, DreamHack, Twitch, and Psyonix for making this event possible. It could not happen without their support. But without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into the grand finals of DreamHack Atlanta. It's what we've all been waiting for. I am so excited. Let's meet the teams as they're going to come out on the stage in the blue, representing Europe. It's Gale Force Esports, KDOP, Turbo Pulsa, and Violent Panda, the European Titans, here to see if they can do it once more.
They are back for another grand finals at DreamHack Championship Series. They were there for DreamHack Summer, and now they're looking to chase that 1st place.
And in the orange, representing North America, give it up for the Muffin Men, Torment, Squishy, and Gimmick.
Newcomers to this stage, but not looking at it one bit that way. We talked to Gimmick just a little bit ago, and it's like, you know what? It's all focus, all boys. We have no issues whatsoever with this pressure. As this, you can tell that crowd is definitely behind them.
Yeah, this crowd has been fantastic all day long. I'm excited to get into the grand finals. Players, take your seats. Let's play Rocket League. And oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, it comes down to this. For the 3 of you, I want to hear it one more time. Predictions between the Muffin Men and Gale Force Esports. How many games does it take them and who pulls it out?
It's going to be a tough one, man. I mean, you even heard Fickle say super close in the stats. History shows that they've both had really tough teams to get through. But for me, I honestly think history is going to repeat itself, and we're going to see Muffin Men win their 1st win ever.
Before we move on, I do want to point out, Fickle, you made a great point. Gale Force was here in DreamHack Sweden, and they fell to Flipside. Can they do it this time? Waller thinks no. What about you, Chiefs?
You ask very, very difficult questions.
I'm so sorry.
And you make it so hard. But
Tis your job.
I have to do the same thing as I said at the X Games. Fortune favors the offensive. I think Muffin Men apply just enough pressure. They finally crack that Gale Force defense. I think they take it. It goes the distance, though.
Last night when I was going over the bracket with the Chiefs, I completely called it start to finish as it played out, and in that prediction, I picked Gale Force to be the victors of this tournament. I don't think they're going to get the second place curse, and they will be the victors.
2 analysts favoring the Muffin Men, 1 favoring Gale Force. I cannot wait to see how this match pounds out. If the Muffin Men could slay 3 giants at once, the chances of them not continuing on in Rocket League.
Not continuing without an org, for that matter.
Yeah, please. These men need some. They are not Muffin Boys at this point. They're absolutely the Muffin Men. Whether they die as victors or live on, I don't know. We'll find out.
As DreamHack legends.
I'm actually kind of
DreamHack
upset.
legends.
None of us has asked them like what muffin they each are. Like who's blueberry, who's chocolate. Like
I'm gonna stay away.
Muffin Men work?
I'm gonna stay
why
away
not?
from that one.
Gonna be completely honest. I've never actually met a Muffin Man.
It definitely should be a really
Do
cool
you know the Muffin Man?
I know these 3 right here. Well, I just met Gimmick also. And I now, by process of elimination, know which one Squishy is. He's the one nearest to us.
Yes.
But there's K-Dop on your
319.
screen. K-Dop, the European MVP from Season 3. One of the most deadly players. Some would consider him the best player in the world. All 3 of the players on that side of the pitch, you could make an argument for being the best player in the world. And they're going to be trying to solidify that here at DreamHack.
I mean, you're talking the experience alone. Every single one of them has been a grand finalist at the RLCS.
Yep. Their match against Envious, every single one of those players has finished at least second. At least second in RLCS. And on the other side with the Squishy. And then let's get into the game.
Let's go ahead indeed. The grand finals, DreamHack Atlanta here in Atlanta, Georgia, and things gonna start off quickly for the Muffin Men here. It's a wide open net. Gimmick says, sorry, I'll get out of your way.
The roar of the crowd is heard all throughout the Georgia World Congress Center as Torment strikes the first net in. Good guy, I think good guy Gimmick in the net there lets Torment have the goal and doesn't steal it away. The Muffin Men strike first in this best of 7 to determine our DreamHack Championship first place victor, walking away with how much achieves?
$20,000
That is-
you take first.
That is quite a big number.
Is now Torment, kept at bay by Violent Panda for a short stint in the midfield. Long clear downfield. Turbo Pulsa going to collect the corner boost. Hard shot, top of the net. No problem for Turbo, however. A cheeky little tap around one, oncoming from the sidewall as well. Gimmick and Squishy circling around in the midfield. Torment battling it out in the corner. Lazy shot on target, no problem for Violent Panda. Not a lot of pace, and the placement a little bit off, and the Gale Force defense, of course, equal to that one.
If you are anywhere within earshot of my voice, come down to the Rocket League stage. We have our grand finals here. The Muffin Men, North America's chance at this DreamHack Championship versus the European proven team, Gale Force, who took second place at DreamHack Summer, looking to get a first place victory under their belt.
Torment with a touchdown field, shut down by Turbo out of the mid. Gimmick now hard off the sidewall, came up empty on the second touch, and that will give Gale Force a push into the Muffin Men half. Hard clear downfield, Turbo goes off his own sidewall, usually considered something to very much avoid. As K-Dop lurking right there,
Ooh,
Torment
nice
just
save.
able to tip it out. He made a bunch of insane defensive efforts in the series versus G2, and it'll be interesting to see what level of defense Torment brings into the grand finals here against Gale Force.
Well, they're able to keep this Gale Force roster at 0 goals so far, but not for long as Turbo Pulsa is trying to streak downfield. It's always the defense from Gale Force that we are always really is their claim to fame. But are they going to break through the defense of the Muffin Men, which actually looked really strong against NRG?
Yeah, the Muffin Men, as a team, all series long that we've seen in tournament play, have only allowed 1.7 goals on average per game. They will have to have another stellar defensive showing, as well as put the hurt to Gale Force on the offensive side, because that Gale Force defense is absolutely no slouch either. Hard off the corner. Long clear downfield. Turbo Pulsa tap that one away. There's a demo over on the side of Violent Panda, and he'll have to wait a few seconds. Should be back by now as K-Dop taps it downfield.
Yeah, it's going to be a slow and methodical game here for Gale Force. Don't let them lull you into a false sense of security. They will hunt you down in your own net, blow you up, and score on you. But for right now, they're still looking for their first.
Turbo Pulsa off the back wall. Gonna have to peel off of that one. Doesn't have the follow-through capabilities. Gimmick hard off the Muffin or Gale Force corner. My mistake. And Turbo off the side wall. Low touch, delayed hit, and that will be Torment in the net once again, making another solid defensive effort for the Orange squad.
Gimmick actually wasting a ton of boost in the midfield. Now, neither Gimmick nor Squishy has any boost to work with here. I would expect a nice push from Gale Force.
Violent Panda rotating back to his own side. K-Dop in the net in charge. Big whiff from both teams. Followed through by Gimmick, still in this Gale Force half. No boost for Gimmick either, and it's just a slow peter out of the offense for Muffin Men as Gale Force will drive that back into the middle ground. Hard off the back wall. Rotating back, Violent Panda has some space to work with. Yields to Turbo Pulsa, tries to feed him off the ceiling. Gimmick's already up there. What are you doing there? And it'll be a tap downfield onto the Gale Force backside. There's a second hit. How about 3? And that'll do it. The lead extends to 2.
Such an impressive defensive effort from Gimmick, who denied the pass that was all the way up into the ceiling and knocked it down, letting Squishy and Torment break downfield for the shot. The Muffin Men coming out strong in game number 1 versus Gale Force Esports.
And Torment and Squishy responsible for both of the goals in this game. Torment with the 2 goals, Squishy with the 2 assists. Violent Panda towards the net. Not able to get it through is Turbo Pulsa. Torment being a wall on that right side. Shot on target, straight down from Squishy. Follow through, back wall, second touch. Violent Panda. He put one in earlier in the semifinals. Unfortunately, not going to happen this time around versus Muffin Men.
30 seconds remaining for Gale Force to try to come back into this game, or else the Muffin Men will take a very critical game number 1 in a long best-of-7 series.
Squishy now, K-Dop right out to Violent Panda. Attempted, it will get quickly snuffed out, the 2 red cars, and that's a little chip. How about one off the side wall, kept away, K-Dop rushing through.
This is for sure going to be a victory for the Muffin Men as they take game number 1 in grand finals versus Gale Force.
And they do it with some solid defense as well, shutting out the European top dogs. What a way to go as well. Torment and Squishy scoring. Both they scored 9 seconds in, and then they scored with 57 left. They open and close the game nicely, and the Muffin Men sitting pretty after 1 game.
Nice little American flag out in the crowd as well. Although Squishy is from Canada, still technically in North America. But we are, and the crowd are going to claim him as one of our own. And we have Gale Force on the other side representing Europe. All the way from, they have 3 different countries represented, I believe. Sweden, France, and the Netherlands, correct?
Off the top of my head, that does indeed sound correct. Now, of course, earlier, these 2 teams played already back on day number 2. It was Gale Force versus the Muffin Men. That one went all the way to 5 games, and the Muffin Men, they allowed 12, but still, they were not turned away at all. They scored 8 against Gale Force, so they know that they can get it done on offense. It's just a matter if they can sustain that level of success and perhaps come out on top this time around.
Look at that zen-like focus from Gimmick, not even blinking at his screen. He has been such a dominant force for the Muffin Men offense time and time again. Now we are in grand finals. Can he do it one more time? Can the Muffin Men take DreamHack Atlanta 2017?
And on to Urban Central off the back wall. Gimmick, there's K-Dop, pass forward to Violent Panda. Has some space, utilizes it well. Unfortunately, the dribble just falls off the nose. He will be turned away by Torment. K-Dop now moving down slowly with his team as they push onto the orange half. Gimmick, a little bit of a short hop and actually delays the push forward from Gale Force. The 1-2 touch going to be just wide. As there's a shot right side, K-Dop finds the back of the net, courtesy of the pass from Turbo.
K-Dop gonna find the corner, as James said earlier. RLCS Season 3 League Play MVP, as that is quite a fast shot coming in from all the way in the left corner. Gale Force are gonna strike first.
Gale Force indeed, and every time they've struck first in the semifinals, they've ended up winning that game. Now off the back wall, it's on the Muffin Men to rally here, and you'd like to see them score quickly because after Gale Force has got that 1-goal lead, they have been absolutely locked down, shut out, lights out defense. And it's up to the Muffin Men to be able to break that wall down. Now Gimmick, long pass downfield. No follow through, doesn't have the boost to do so. Actually, a failure to deny that midfield boost as a shot towards K-Dop, easily flicked out into the corner. We've reached under a minute of play, and already things have slowed down just a touch. Quick shot from Gimmick, and Violent Panda there to save that one as well. This is when we'll really start to see that Gale Force defense take those really long rotates back into their own half and just make sure that nothing gets through for free. There's not a lot that slips through this Gale Force net.
It's going to take quite a monstrous effort to break through Gale Force defense when they have the lead. I know the Muffin Men were able to strike first in the last
clear,
game.
that might do it. Turbo Pulsa hands him the ball, and Torment tips his cap and says, thank you, sir.
Well, either a monstrous effort on offense or a very critical mistake from Turbo Pulsa as he knocks that ball straight into a half volley situation for Torment, and he's going to strike that ball in. I believe Torment is the highest scoring player on the Muffin Men on the day.
Well, Torment certainly has a case made for him in that department. As we approach the 3-minute mark, Torment has actually tied with Gimmick coming into this series. They've both put in 8, but of course, as this has gone on, Torment now sitting at 10. So yes, Torment the highest contributor on the day in the terms of the goal scoring department for the Muffin Men. As this touchdown field from Squishy, Gimmick not able to find it. Second touch would have been pretty, but Gale Force are already back there and shut that one out quickly. And what a touch from Gimmick as well. They're going to have to scramble back into the blue side. K-Dop going to be the man in the net. Turbo lurking on the back wall, and what a brilliant read, and they'll have a chance to clear it away.
Torment trying to play it back into the middle, but no one is there to link onto that pass. Now it is Gale Force's chance to play offense. They're going to break through the Muffin Men, trying to make them crumble.
Squishy back on his own half. Torment in this Gale Force corner are going to have to give way, follow through, shut down. The defense from Gale Force is so good at coming off those back walls, finding the craziest angles to challenge from. They always seem to come up with the touch when it really matters, and that's a great 1-2 pass. It's going to be just wide, however, and Violent Panda going to be in charge of the setup this time around.
Ooh, wow, 2 players from the Gale Force up in the top right corner. This could be a chance for the Muffin Men. Ball is above the net. He's going backwards, and Gimmick. Ooh, the demo on the net, too, is such a good opportunity gone astray for the Muffin Men.
A tough angle for Gimmick to make. K-Dop reading the pass lane brilliantly, shuts out the attempt from the Muffin Men in the midfield, and now no boost. Squishy Muffin's going to be in charge of trying to push this one away, and Gale Force will say, now we're going to hang on to the ball for a little bit and throw it back into our own half. Long clear, downfield. Both of these teams have had to battle all the way to get here. Rattles off the top bar, follow through. Violent Panda stalls it. Not the best clear. Second chance for Squishy. It'll be turned away by Turbo Pulsa. That's the Gale Force defense we've been talking about.
Locking down, key and lock is under the Gale Force defense, and now their chance to be on offense. Final minute remaining in this game number 2. Are we going to see it end in regulation, or are we seeing our first overtime in grand finals?
Have to certainly find out. We've eclipsed the 1 minute remaining mark. K-Dop on a dribble, so dangerous in that scenario out in front of the net. Torment on him quickly, not letting it get started. Not a lot of boost to work with, and Squishy still able to make the save, and the aggression turned up for Gale Force. They're applying tons of pressure, and of course, right as I say that, they'll all back off out of the midfield. They quickly regain their footing, however. It's back into this Muffin Men corner. Touchdown field, Turbo lurking. Muffin Men need to secure this clear. The late game offense so critical for this Gale Force team. They will need to take this one to tie up the series. The Muffin Men opened up the series with a 2-0 shutout. This one towards the right side, kept at bay by Violent Panda. Game number 2 coming to a close with overtime looming. Gimmick out in front of the net. It slipped through, and K-Dop finds the back of the net on the right side. He's ready to go.
2 seconds remaining, and Gale Force takes the lead in game number 2. 2 seconds. That might be all it takes if Muffin Men want to get back into this. What is their kickoff strategy to get past the defense from Gale Force? We shall see.
They got it high, it's what you want, but it's not the best angle. Still finds its way into the Gale Force side. Squishy needs this touch. It'll fall to the ground, or will it? They'll put it not into their own net. Gimmick's able to tap that one high, but still not looking good. They'll slam it down, and Gale Force steal game 2 pretty much.
Beautiful, beautiful drop at the very end there from the member of Gale Force to kill the game, essentially. Have no chance of a comeback for the Muffin Men. Just spike it into the ground. That is the very intelligent thing to do.
And KDOP coming up with the 2 clutch goals in that one. They open it up at 4:22 and then close the door at 2 seconds remaining. KDOP has really woken up here in day number 3. He hasn't seen a lot in terms of the offensive production side of things throughout the days 1 and 2 that we got to saw him on stream. But here in day number 3, he's definitely done taken a much more prominent role, I should say, over on the offensive side of things for the Gale Force crew.
I really like the positioning there from the Muffin Men. Every single member leaning forward, really focused, not even one of them taking their eyes off their monitors, as we see Gale Force a little bit more relaxed. They've been in this scenario before, but they are expected to perform. And one of the favorites in the field, the Muffin Men, are playing completely for bragging rights. Well, not completely for bragging rights.
But they're playing for 20K.
As they have 20K and the trophy on the line, but this means so much to them. I would think them proving themselves in grand finals is way more of an accomplishment than any prize could be.
Certainly a case for themselves. They've already really cemented themselves, having defeated Envious as the top European team, and this is a good chance to bounce back after that loss at the X Games and say, hey, you still can't talk about the best team in the world without mentioning Gale Force. And the Muffin Men have some words to say about that as well, as Game 3 kicks off here on DFH Stadium. Gimmick right through the midfield defense of Gale Force. Will run away back into the midfield. Violent Panda, soft tap. There's the 1-2 touch from Turbo. It will be met by Torment at the top of the box. Follow through from KDOP, kept away by Squishy. Squishy and Torment have definitely had to step on defense, and earlier in the match versus G2, Torment, the man with the plan, in front of the net. So this one kept away, and Squishy has to come up with that one as well. Thankfully, the follow-through clear comes through for Torment. They can breathe a brief sigh of relief.
Man, Torment was up so early to clear that ball out of his own half, and now with the recognition, gets it past one, tries to get it past another, but the ball is going to saw up in the air. Demoed, ended his life a little bit too short.
And a really nice demo there on Torment as well, because he would definitely have been first in line to take a shot. That one just kept it way from Wow, Violent Panda, what do you have to do to find the back of the net except that?
Violent Panda sticking around after making that 50-50 read. KDOP puts it in front of the net, and Violent Panda is going to get the very cheeky redirect on the goal line, securing Gale Force's spot on top.
And again, Gale Force strike first. They scored first 4 games out of 7 in the Envious match. They won all 4 of those games. Turbo Pulsa towards the top of the box is Violent Panda, shut down immediately by Torment coming out of the corner. Not able to dribble through KDOP. This midfield wall so good for Gale Force. It's so tough to break out of your own half. Gonna have to see them start utilizing their teammates. We've talked about it a few times already. They did a brilliant job of it earlier on in the day as well. But the Muffin Men kind of strapped for boost, really struggling to spread out on defense and get the ball out.
We actually saw that same exact play from Violent Panda in the Envious series. He was hanging out on the enemy backboard and is going to try to get off the backboard to the pass and drop it down for his teammate. Very, very creative way to score, as it catches a lot of teams off guard.
Shot from Violent Panda is going to find the lower right-hand corner. The lead extends to 2.
Placement is so key in this scenario, as Violent Panda finds where the defense is not. Look at that pocket down in the bottom right. Just sneaks it past 2 defenders from the Muffin Men. Gale Force looking comfortable after dropping game number 1. They won game number 2 and are in the lead in game number 3.
Torment forward. Violent Panda shuts him down. This midfield defense absolutely suffocating here in games 2 and 3 for Gale Force. As Gimmick tries to make a sweeping run out in front of the Gale Force net. Nobody there to be demolished, however, and it's a hard one off the Muffin Men back wall with the long clear from Violent Panda. Squishy unable to come up with the touch. Violent Panda towards the open net. It's a bit of a race. Gimmick comes out of the corner and didn't quite see him lurking there for a second, but he was indeed back, and Squishy has to make another tough save. Shot there from Turbo Pulsa going to be kept away as well, and Torment responsible for finding the clear for Muffin Men.
Gimmick needs to be involved in the offense if the Muffin Men want to win this series. And do they ever? 20K on the line, and the trophy, and the bragging rights, solidifying yourself as the DreamHack Atlanta 2017 champion. But Gale Force is making it oh so difficult, being lights out.
Gale Force hasn't let this high-powered Muffin Men offense score for just about 5 minutes. This one's into the top right and tapped away by Turbo Pulsa, able to recover off that hop off the corner of the net. It's tough to keep your composure when the ball's rattling around your goal line like that, as Gimmick just able to get the bumper on it. Cleared away now by the Muffin Men. Tapped towards the middle of the pitch. Squishy and Torment both there for it. Hard off the back wall. That's going to have to be a race all the way back. It will be slow enough for them to catch up, but K-Dop's tracked it down, and thankfully Squishy able to find the hit as well.
Yeah, 3 members of everybody on the squad.
Oh, just off the post, follow through left side, right hand
K-Dop.
K-Dop. How about number 3? That one goes in. Gimmick ties it. No, he doesn't. They're short one. My mistake.
K-Dop able to save the first shot, but the second shot is the deadlier one. Gimmick, like I said, needs to be involved, and he does. Muffin Men bring it within 1.
Bring it within 1 indeed, and they needed that one. It's a long time to go in a drought, especially versus such a suffocating defense as this Gale Force offense is to deal with out of the midfield. It's a touch off the side wall. Turbo Pulsa on a dribble. It's a pretty decent one for a good hop up. It's not a half bad pass towards the top of the box as well, but Gale Force a little bit too wary. The Muffin Men defense. Under a minute remaining here in game number 3. The lead of the series on the line. Tap up towards the side wall. Off the corner, the Muffin Men trying to edge closer and closer to an overtime in this series. And now we really see this Gale Force offense start to just sit right in front of their net and say, you are not going to get away for anything.
This is the Gale Force dance lullaby, as they try to just completely shut out the other team, play their game, stay on defense, and they're not going to let anything through.
What a tough shot to deal with for Torment, as Violent Panda lurking there at the top of the box. Long shot needed to come up with a hit, and a clutch hit from Turbo Pulsa. 10 seconds remaining. Violent Panda just sitting in front of the net, saying actually he's going to bail out, push forward, and apply pressure, waste some time off the clock. Turbo Pulsa wants one for the road. It's tapped down. That's game number 3. Gale Force extend the lead to 2 in the series.
Gale Force 2 in a row and 2 games closer to finally securing that first place spot that has eluded them these last 2 weeks. They were able to take the brisk summer series, but at the X Games, they got second. At DreamHack Summer, they also got second. They are tired of second. They want first. They want the accolade. They want the trophy. They want the money. But they have to get through the Muffin Men.
They do have to get through the Muffin Men. They've already done it once earlier on in the day and the series and the tournament in a best of 5, and that took them a lot of effort to do that. Here in a best of 7, it's going to take a bit more to finish the job. As Gale Force advance on to a nice 2-1 lead in the series. There you see the Muffin Men still. They've had that locked in, ready to go face on for pretty much the entire tournament. Every time they've been on stage, you give a brief little nod when they score a goal, and they're right back into it.
Right. I don't think I've ever seen a team as stoic as the Muffin Men. Every time they score, every time they get scored on, it's the same face. And as Gimmick was saying, and as Torment was saying, they're all just so hyper-focused coming into these grand finals. And we are sitting in grand finals with Gale Force retaining a 2-1 lead in the series. Only takes 4 games to win the championship, and we are going to game number 4.
Well, Gale Force are halfway there. It's just another 10 minutes. K-Dop starts them off the bar. Turbo Pulsa tries to set up a second opportunity for Violent Panda, and Turbo now one more off the back wall. Is K-Dop there to finish it? No, the Muffin Men able to dodge an early bullet. As a lot of early offensive showing from Gale Force. Torment towards the corner. That big boost steal from Gale Force really limiting the Muffin Men offensive options to try and push it out of their field. Just don't have the boost to really get anything going. Is this one going to be down towards the side? Shot from K-Dop. What a redirect. Hello, Violent Panda. K-Dop.
Torment knows K-Dop is over in that corner. He has no boost to do anything about it. We were on his camera as he actually flicked his right stick over there. Knows that K-Dop is there, but he's just such a sitting duck in net with absolutely 0 in the tank. K-Dop takes advantage, strikes first, and Gale Force, when they strike first, as you said in the semifinals, they have a 100% win record.
And got the wins to show it. Turbo Pulsa, actually all 3 members committing for Gale Force there. They have to scramble to save this one. K-Dop off the back wall. It's a tough touch, but it does buy them time to get resituated Is this one over his head? Off the corner, and that is a tough break for Squishy Muffins. Nobody was up there to contest him.
Ooh, so much trust from K-Dop to let that ball go over his head and let his teammates deal with it. But that is what makes their defense so good. You hardly see them lurching for anything. You only see one person going for the net. Each one tries to support the other, and it's so hard to break through.
Pass across the center of the line as Torment up the sidewall onto the Gale Force half.
Can he do it?
A couple of touches
Can he do it?
And not in. K-Dop stays right with it. Actually baited out a few members of the Gale Force crew into that one, but still well defended by Gale Force, and they will not get that one through either.
Well defended by Gale Force seems to be their motto. They are up 1, and I do not see them giving this goal up easily. It's going to take a very, very good effort from the side of the Muffin Men, and this might be it. The
1, 2, 3, that'll do it. The triangle of doom from the Muffin Men.
And it looks like the positioning from Torment here is going to get a haphazard bump on Turbo Pulsa and the shot as well. I don't think Torment saw Turbo Pulsa in his camera, was trying to get back downfield on the rotation, but fortunately bumps into him and is able to get the shot onto net. That is the kind of effort that they need to see.
And this time the Muffin Men able to equalize just over a minute after Gale Force found the back of the net. Now it resets into the all deadlocked phase. We've got 3 minutes of Rocket League left here in game number 4. The Muffin Men would love to tie the series up, and Gale Force would love to put a chokehold on him. Squishy, chance of the net, gets a great touch out to midfield. Gimmick board, and they take the lead.
Squishy had everything to do with this ball. He's gonna get to the ball first and pinch it over into the middle, and actually Gimmick cutting off the angle of the clear from the defense from Gale Force. Just gonna squeeze it in barely into the top right, and it's gonna go bar down, bar, and then in.
Violent Panda out of the midfield. Gale Force. Now they're the ones playing from behind. That might do it. Well defended. Squishy out there to meet him at the top of the box. No boost to work with, however. It's all on Gimmick and co. as the midfield boost spawns right under him. 2:27 remaining here, just past the halfway mark in game number 4. It's been a long road here at DreamHack Atlanta. Started with 31 teams. We cut it down to the top 16 after day 1, the top 8 after day 2, and we've battled all the way down to 2. The only 2 remaining, one from Europe, one from North America. The Muffin Men have been the underdogs all the way through. They've had to take out some crazy difficult opponents in G2 and NRG, and they did it all in spectacular fashion. While Gale Force, one of the European favorites, it could have went either way versus Envious, but they came out on top in 7 games.
And Gale Force, the story behind them, looking to claim their first DreamHack after being so close at DreamHack Summer, losing to Flipside Tactics in the finals there. They want this so badly, but are currently down in this game. Have the lead in the series, but they want to get this over with as fast as possible.
Number 2, that one's wide, also defended. Gimmick able to just get the bumper on it and throw this one away out into the corner, and Muffin Men again dodge a bullet on defense. Just approaching 1 minute now. Turbo Pulsa gets beat to the ball out of the midfield. Squishy, again, no boost to work with. He's had to make some very difficult touches on limited boost. He has come up big here. Just a tough play to make. Turbo Pulsa a little bit too far away, maybe hoping to find a block. Now we reach 1 minute remaining. Gale Force needing this win here to all but secure their lead. They had a 3-1 lead in the X Games as well and dropped it to NRG, and they would love to put those rumors to rest, as here's a chance for a Turbo. Bouncer kept away by Gimmick, and a bump in the net from Squishy. He's pretty much helpless, able to recover. Violent Panda lower right off the post, and again Muffin Men.
Turbo Pulsa did everything right in that play, made the goalie jump out of the way, but Violent Panda was not able to turn it into the net. Gale Force are still pressuring.
Oh, you're kidding.
Ball gets through everybody and goes unscored. I think the member of Gale Force there was not expecting that whatsoever. 20 seconds remaining. Can Gale Force tie this back up? The Muffin Men are trying their best to keep it on defense. The fake from one, but blocked out from the next.
Violent Panda so lethal in the middle of the box on that dribble, comes up short this time around as Gale Force again able to touch the ball away. The final 5 seconds, the ability to tie the series up within their grasp. It's all on Gale Force. They knock it high and just has to come down to Gimmick to tap it away. will fall down. K-Dop on a dribble out of the midfield.
Oh,
it's a
on his car.
1-on-2.
Oh my
one-on-one.
God.
High touch. Gimmick slaps it out to the side. That will do it. They tie the series up at 2s.
Valiant effort, though, from Gale Force. K-Dop carrying it all the way from his own box on his car by himself. Flicks it on the backboard for a chance, but defended very clutchly by the Muffin Men. And as we see the series now tied up between the European stalwarts and the North American heroes.
Locked battle again. The same series happened earlier in the tournament. It went all 5. They got absolutely blown out in game 5, if I remember correctly, courtesy of Gale Force. They did a wonderful job playing that entire series. As you see right there on your screen, again, the Muffin Men, a brief look to the side, right back into it. Everybody in the crowd having a good time. That's a great foam finger right there.
Two foam fingers.
2 foam fingers. And yes, of course, the Gale Force Muffin Men match earlier on in the tournament. Game 5 went 2-0 over to Gale Force Esports. Muffin Men unable to muster forth an offensive effort in the final game.
Right, this is actually a rematch from the tournament, not the previous tournament, but a previous day in this tournament. They played in day number 2, I believe, where Gale Force was able to take them in 5 games, 3-2, and move on to top 8. That was their qualification match. Muffin Men eventually go back down and then make their way into top 8. But we are getting into game number 5 of this best of 7 series. Series is completely tied. Crowd is going nuts out there. You guys have been fantastic all weekend long, showing so much love for this young esport.
There you see everybody trying to pump up the crowd, waiting for everybody to pop into this lobby. Team showing support for both. You can see the trophy right behind Torment's head right there. And what a series everyone has been battling for. That cup right behind Torment. It's what these guys are battling for. That and, of course, $20,000.
I believe we are restarting the match as I think one of the players joined just a little bit too early. But talking about what both teams need to do as we see Turbo Pulsa completely relaxed in his chair, and Gimmick as well. This guy has impressed me so much during the weekend. How about you?
I mean, yeah, Gimmick has been an absolute force all weekend long. I mean, the Muffin Men in general, throughout the entire tournament that we've seen on stream, they've put in a total of 55 goals. Gimmick in large part responsible for a significant number of them. And of course, Torment. Torment on defense, stepping up big today. And then of course, a much needed assist man, and Squishy Muffins, again, a huge part of the offense, setting up Gimmick a lot. And these two teams, like I said on the desk before we got started, had very similar stat lines. The Muffin Men coming into this final series, they put in 2.61 goals per game. Gale Force 2.2. It's not much of a difference, but that extra, just about half a goal, could be what decides us here. Is that extra offensive push might be just what the Muffin Men need.
Yeah, talking about an individual story though, we just saw him a little bit on the screen. Squishy Muffins, maybe regarded as the best mechanical player in North America, but he's never gotten a chance to be on a stage like this to prove himself. Unfortunately, dropping out of RLCS Season 3 with a defeat to a couple of good teams, but now he's on the stage with the Muffin Men on the orange team, and we have Gale Force Esports on the blue team. Series is tied in grand finals. Who is going to be going home with that 20K and the trophy? We will see.
And Game 5 taking place on Utopia Coliseum, and Gale Force again under a little bit of early pressure courtesy of the Muffin Men. Tapped high and around off that back wall. Torment just feeds Turbo Pulse the ball. He's got a lot of space to work with. Space being conceded. Fake one, pitches it out across. Perhaps a little unintentional, but the thought is there as Torment will tap one high up into the ceiling.
Quite a crazy pinch coming in there for Turbo Pulsa, as he definitely did not intend to get it that far out of the net. But we're going to see the song and dance between these teams.
Violent Panda going to be demoing Squishy Muffins out in front of the blue net. He has respawned since. And 1 minute elapsed already in this Game 5. You win this one, you put the hammer down on your opponent. You put this giant mental vice right around them and say, you have to win 2 in a row if you want to win this thing.
Right, this Game 5 is so critical. It will put you on tournament point for either team. Is it going to be the Muffin Men from North America, or is it going to be Gale Force looking to get their first place victory at DreamHack?
Torment choosing to take his time there. Very fortunate. The oncoming attacker from Gale Force came up empty on the touch off the back wall. Squishy now off the ceiling, follow through Turbo Pulsa down into the corner, and Violent Panda will throw it back into the mix. There's a steal from Gimmick, but already somebody from Gale Force back on defense. It is K-Dot being bullied against the side wall, and Turbo Pulsa gonna lend a helping hand. Shot to the right side, up and in. You want to talk about placement? How about Torment and Gimmick?
I was just about to say the same thing. Gimmick coming in clutch in game number 5. Looking at the camera, this kid's nuts. He's been in the scene for a long time, but has never been a mainstay name. He is making a name for himself this weekend and has been doing it under the Muffin Men roster.
A kickoff now, the Muffin Men again. They found the back of the net a few times to start off the game, and recently, they actually ruined Gale Force's perfect record here of scoring first and winning on day number 3 with their previous victory in game number 4. As this one off the back wall, Turbo Pulsa to shut it away. He's gonna have to have a long drive all the way back to his net with that limited amount of boost. It's K-Dop and Violent Panda in charge of getting things going the right direction. We've reached the halfway point here in game number 5 as Gimmick deep into that blue side. Touch across, another tap away. This one doesn't quite have the same power as the previous one, and Muffin Men are gonna stall out on offense. A crazy challenge from Gimmick, and now it's a 2-on-3 here for the Gale Force crew. And Squishy will buy plenty of time. Unfortunately, missing that touch, though.
We will see. This is a similar scenario that we saw in game number 1. Muffin Men had the lead, and Gale Force were actually shut out in that game 2-0 in the very first one that the Muffin Men took. We will see. A minute 58, 56 remaining. The clock winds down so quickly when these two teams are evenly matched. And as the time drips down, so do your chances of tying it up.
Violent Panda challenged out of the midfield. It's hard off the side wall. He'll scamper back to his own side. Squishy just hovering here at the center of the pitch. It's a tap forward, and it'll be no problem for the Panda. High up onto the side wall. K-Dop down to the top of the box. What a pass. Shut down. How about the second shot? You're kidding. Torment, how do you do it?
He's done it multiple times this tournament, getting one incredible block, recovering and getting a second one, keeping Muffin Men in the lead, but Gale Force are not done yet.
Tap again. Gale Force back on the offensive one more time. Tap into the midfield. Going to come out off the wheels of Violent Panda. Shot going to be kept away by Gimmick. It's a dribble attempt towards the right side. Turbo stalls this one out. Gimmick maybe rushing that touch a little bit. He was in a pretty big power play against Gale Force, and now it's almost immediately back down into this orange corner. The Muffin Men have been really tested on defense all series long versus this Gale Force crew.
1 minute remaining until the Muffin Men are trying to secure this point and be on tournament point. This is absolutely ridiculous.
4 seconds remaining here for Gale Force.
40.
Yes, 40. My mistake. I can count words.
0 seconds remaining for Gale Force. Are they going to be able to tie this game back up, or will the Muffin Men go on and continue their march towards grand finals, not even being contested right here?
Gale Force definitely having to put up with a bit of pressure here at the end of game number 5. Muffin Men on the verge of taking a commanding lead in the series. It's only one game, but it's such a pivotal game. This number 5, when you're locked at 2s, is so important for both teams. It's going to take some last-second heroics from Gale Force. The touch right through the midfield. Gimmick stalls it out. It's out to midfield. It's high.
It's off the backboard. Oh,
back wall
what a
turned
save.
away. Squishy still not able to throw it down. Turbo Pulsa, that will not do it either. Gimmick throws it out. The Muffin Men advance 3-2 in the series.
Being able to deny that backboard hit, Squishy coming in clutch for the Muffin Men. And still, these guys are on tournament point. Not even a smile from them. So stoic, so focused, so confident, and they are intently staring on their monitors. Oh, I saw that little smirk there, Squishy. You can't hide it from me. I know this means so much to him. He's been wanting to prove himself as a player for so long, but equally, it means just as much to Gale Force, who are trying to break their second place curse and are on the verge of history repeating itself.
Yeah, Turbo Pulsa, the only one to have won a live environment tournament for his team. Violent Panda and KDOP have both been relegated to second place multiple times over. Violent Panda back with the Maka crew in Season 2, and KDOP with the Maka crew in Season 3, and then of course, both of them just last week at the X Games. This would be a huge win and a big step in the right direction for those Gale Force guys, and the Muffin Men coming out of the community, knocking down a bunch of North American favorites, playing a heck of a game of Rocket League here in the Grand Finals, and they've got Gale Force on the ropes. As we move on into game number 6, 5 minutes separate the Muffin Men from glory, $20,000, and the title of DreamHack Atlanta champions.
And what a potential last match then, other than Champions Field, one of the new maps in Rocket League, and a really good setting as well to potentially claim a new champion to the DreamHack series.
This one high up and around. KDOP waiting patiently on this blue hat. Missed that boost. That might get stolen away. It will indeed. Weak touch out into the midfield. The Muffin Men keep up the pressure, and Violent Panda slaps one out towards the side. Hard off that top corner. Well defended again by Gale Force, but can they hold the line versus the high-powered offensive Muffin Men? Goes down.
Nuts! Squishy Muffins, you're nuts! Sticks it under the defense off of the ceiling for the Muffin Men, as Squishy is gonna get away with a very, very creative goal there. The Muffin Men, 4 minutes and 24 seconds away of flawless defense, and they will be crowned DreamHack champions.
They were able to lock down in game number 5. They scored with about 3 minutes left and kept Gale Force out of their own net. Can they repeat that here? And second chance going to be kept away. Violent Panda has other ideas about what's going to happen in front of his own net, as we've only played 1 minute now. Squishy hard bounce off the sidewall. KDOP, big roll out towards the midfield, intercepted by the Muffin Men. Patiently off that sidewall, Gimmick high into the midfield. Squishy noticing the space he's got, cuts left. It's all the way into the corner of Gale Force, and it'll take a bit of a weak hop for them, and they'll have to back off.
Turbo Pulsa actually demoing a member of the Muffin Men. This could be a power play for Gale Force. This is a do-or-die situation for the European team if they want to have any chance of reclaiming their first place prize that they've been so close to time and time again.
It was such a brilliant pass from KDOP hard off the sidewall. Unfortunately, Gale Force just too far away to follow through on the effort, and they have not scored in such a long time. They've been held scoreless for just about 10 minutes now, going all the way back to game number 4. It's Turbo Pulsa on target, but Torment off the back wall needs 2. He's been absolutely on fire in front of his own net, going back to the semifinals versus G2, making crazy save after crazy save, and then of course, keeping Gale Force out of the net in the previous game.
Absolutely brilliant defensive performance from Torment in these final 2 minutes of this match.
High.
Shot on target.
Turbo, there it is.
Back, and they tie the game up.
Nice job from Turbo Pulsa. Violent Panda with the assist. Violent been a huge part of the offense for these guys, and just perfectly placed just out of reach of Gimmick. And they were able to finally find the back of the net. It took them a long time, but they've locked the game at ones. A new kickoff on the way just before halftime. Will be the third kickoff of this game. As KDOP and Turbo get a little bit tongue-tied in the corner. Will sort themselves out in short order, and they will go back on defense. KDOP with a lot of space to work with. Throws one into the Muffin Men left corner. Out towards the top of the box. That's a beautiful pass. Violent Panda aiming for those lower corners. He's done it a few times this series, but this second time around, Squishy is ready.
Nice recovery from Squishy on the wall there, although out of boots and in a perilous situation, still struggling to break out and find a couple of pads. Ooh, nice defensive effort
right at
there.
him. KDOP out towards the top of the box again. They're so good. The passes in towards the center. So dangerous from Gale Force.
I spoke too soon. I thought his touch was gonna confuse Gale Force, but it actually played right into their hands as KDOP is going to find Violent Panda in the middle of the field. Get the shot onto target. Gale Force.
The offense.
They do not write them off yet. They may be down in this series, but this means the world to them as they are trying to take first place.
Offense comes back with a vengeance. Held scoreless for so long, and they scored 2 within 30 seconds of each other. Now Muffin Man having to play behind, and Gale Force has really shown they are more than capable of locking down a lead versus any team anywhere in the world all tournament long. Out in front of the net. It's a
fake,
tough save.
the fake.
One fake, two. K-Dop's nuts.
I saw that coming from a mile away. Oh, that is a perfect scenario that you want to have the fake in. You're charging towards the ball and people are not positioned quite yet. Gets the fake on one and then dribbles the other. Gale Force, what a performance. When they are down, they are performing when it counts the most.
The lead extends to 2 for Gale Force, and all they need is to force Game 7. You can bet if they are able to hold on to this lead, they're going to ride that momentum, and it is going to be a knockdown, drag-out fight for the title of DreamHack Atlanta. As Torment now in the corner. Touchdown field. Squishy Muffins, it's a chance. Slow play, and K-Dop timing that challenge perfectly, just able to throw it away.
Final minute and 15 seconds of game number 6.
Oh, you're kidding. Set up for Gimmick off the top corner, down into the net, and it will be thrown away again. Second shot from Torment, top center, and K-Dop and crew throw it out.
Man, all 3 members of Gale Force went up for that save, but they fortunately pinched it off one another and created a lot of pace to free it from their box. But now they have to play defense against the Muffin Men. 50 seconds is a world amount of time in a game of Rocket League. There can be plenty of going on, and the Muffin Men are wanting to close it out now.
Shot towards the top right, off target, and Violent Panda will ensure that it does not find the back of his net. We've reached 35 seconds remaining. Squishy Muffins towards the side. Torment lurking to find the clear, but it'll go out towards Gimmick. Can't quite get it through Violent Panda. Turbo Pulsa says, Torment, go back to your own half. And the Muffin Men will have to reset. 20 seconds remaining. It's a very, very tall order to get anything past this Gale Force crew, let alone 2 goals in 17 seconds.
0-second mark is creeping in ever so slowly as the Muffin Men are most likely going to drop this game and achieves. We are going into Game 7 to decide the DreamHack champion.
And what a way. I wouldn't have it any other way. And the Gale Force crew come back in force. And they will come back for game number 7. And it all comes down to this. It all sits on their shoulders. This is their game to lose. The Muffin Men have absolutely nothing to lose, I think. In terms of
I'm speechless right now. I can't believe out of the 31 teams we've had in this tournament so far, coming down to the final 2, coming down to the final game, it would only be so good as we could get in overtime. That would push
That'd be nuts.
That would push the limit, taking it as far as it can possibly go in this DreamHack Championship. Gale Force Esports, we're down in the series 3-2. Now they tied it back up 3-3 in game 7. Will it be the Muffin Men? Will it be Gale Force? Crowd, I cannot hear you out there. I want to hear some noise.
K-Dop, Turbo, Violent Panda, Squishy, Torment, and Gimmick. Everything that they've done for the past 3 days falls away in this final 5 minutes of play. It doesn't matter what the series score is, it says it's 5 minutes on the clock.
And isn't that so pure,
right?
About Rocket League, coming down to just one game of just 5 minutes, of just one goal, of just one championship. Here we go, game 7 between the Muffin Men and Gale Force.
Let's go ahead and get it back underway. The kickoff gonna be favoring the save from Gale Force. What a touch, and the follow-through attempt just wide as well. Muffin Men denied.
Muffin Men oh so close to coming out so strong in game number 7. This is for all the marbles, folks. If you are in the center and
it'll do it
down, Gimmick in game 7. Can you be any more clutch?
Gimmick and Squishy Muffins, they've done it all weekend long. They find the back of the net to start off game 7 and only 24 seconds in. Torment so locked in, the countdown. One more time, Gale Force will have to play from behind. Tap towards this Gale Force corner. Violent Panda gonna be saying goodbye for a few seconds. Almost 2 demos, and Violent Panda, had he been demolished there, very likely would have seen a 2-0 scoreline Muffin Men. It's the follow through, the pressure mounting for Gale Force. It's out in front of the net, slow play attempted, and it will be kept away. Violent Panda gonna secure his own corner boost, Turbo the other one.
Minutes turn into seconds as this game goes on. The Muffin Men, the clock is winding down so slow for them. They just wanted to hit 0 already. They have the lead, but they have Gale Force in about 4 minutes remaining to go through.
Turbo Pulsa, it's a nice high touch. Already up there is Squishy Muffins, however. Down and forward into the Gale Force corner. A quick challenge met by Gimmick in the Gale Force side of things. Torment not able to go through K-Dop. Follow through by Violent Panda. Touch off the corner. Great catch by Torment to keep that ball close, as if he had just boomed it downfield, the Gale Force would definitely be hanging on to possession. Instead, they've thrown it into the neutral game one more time. It's this one off the back wall of Muffin Man. A great clear from Squishy Muffins, and Violent Panda's turn to catch the ball into the corner and do as he sees fit. Torment now up the side wall, looking for a pass. There's nobody there. He can only go towards the net, and it will be easily defended by Turbo Pulsa. Just not a lot of options to work with.
Yeah, the air dribble there, although while flashy, not gonna fool a lot of people as you have nowhere to go but down. But the Muffin Men, 3 more minutes. Can they hang on? Can they claim not only their first major land championship, but at DreamHack as well in the main stage in front of the crowd? Can they do it?
Turbo Pulsa demo in the net. Approaching halftime. The Muffin Men currently on top over Gale Force, one of the strongest European teams we've seen in a long time. Of course, the Muffin Men, the community absolute monster team of North America. They've taken down G2 and NRG. This one gonna roll around the corner. There's the follow-up. K-Dop locks in at 1.
Defensive mistake from the side of the Muffin Men as the clear goes straight into the post from Torment, I believe, in the net there. K-Dop's gonna clean it up. Gale Force tie it back up. 1-1, tied series, tied game, last game. It's gonna be 1 goal achieved. I have no doubt about it.
You said overtime, right?
I did say overtime.
Did you read the script last night?
Yes, I wrote the script.
As now Torment towards the net. Turbo Pulsa kept away. Squishy high off the ceiling. Turbo Pulsa there, and Violent Panda as well. A little bit of space to work with. Opts to lob a long one at the net. And Squishy now to Gimmick. 20 seconds elapsed since the last time that K-Dop and them found the net. Towards the net one more time. And Muffin Men really just recollecting themselves here. They started off so aggressive at the start of this match. And then as soon as Gale Force equalized, you can feel the pace of play is taking a second. The gravity of the situation set into both teams. They both know one mistake could cost them, and Torment just able to recover.
Nice composure there from Torment. We've seen it from him all tournament, but it's coming down to the final 30 seconds. And it's off the crossbar. Oh, the hearts must be sunken for the Muffin Men, as that could have been the championship point there. They have
Torment,
one more
a little
chance.
Jiggle. Not gonna do it. Got through 2, but it's the 3rd one that counts. Gale Force hang tight as we approach the final 60 seconds. Pass out to midfield. Actually, right to K-Dop. Stolen away by Gimmick, and that one just off target.
The fake almost worked out against the favor of
What
Gale
a pass
Force.
out to midfield. Met immediately, noticing the danger they were in as we head closer and closer to overtime. A great bump from Violent Panda, and that will give it over to Gale Force, but immediately met by Torment out of the midfield, and the Muffin Men and Gale Force are in an absolute battle.
Final 40 seconds of regulation in the DreamHack Championship. This is Game 7, folks. Whomever scores right here will be crowned your champion if it doesn't go into overtime. 20 seconds remaining on the clock. 25. It is getting tense. Pools of sweat must be down below the players' feet, and their hands are shaking harder than jackhammers.
Touch out to midfield. Actually go blue. Torment own goal. You're kidding. There's 17 seconds, and it went in.
Oh my goodness. Is that going to be the way that this championship is crowned? From an own goal, favoring the Muffin Men. They have 17 seconds to hold on. Are they going to accept this gift?
Gale Force on the kickoff.
Come back.
Right through. They're on the proper half. They have so little time left.
8 seconds remaining, 6 seconds. This might be the only chance that Gale Force gets. Can they do it? Bump on the goalie attempt. It's in the corner. Can they keep it up? It's going into Gale Force territory. Oh, it's still up in the air. There is still a chance. The Muffin Men are trying to knock it down. Is it going to be knocked down? No, it's still up in the air. Keeping it going is Gale Force, and it falls. The Muffin Men are your DreamHack champions. Wow.
What a show from these two teams. Muffin Men take it out. It went down to the wire. Gale Force cut short again on the brink, looking at overtime. But they ended up winning it all. Let's go ahead. Wavepunk, Lawler, you guys saw that game as two. What did you think?
Ladies and gentlemen, DreamHack Atlanta, make some noise for your champions, the Muffin Men. Against all odds, going up against all of the giants of Rocket League, one by one, they knock them down, and they claim the championship, the title, the cup. Let's get them back here. I want to hear from them. Lawler, this match had us on the edge of our seats, just like it did against G2. These guys, oh my goodness, they know how to make a dramatic finish to a game.
You want to talk about going the distance and back and forth to an absolute T. In games like that, when they are that very close, always come down to a couple key moments, and it's usually mistakes that are being capitalized on. Major ones from Squishy, where he's actually positioned backwards and he plays it back out to mid. Gale Force scores, they end up going up, they take that game, it comes back. But for it to all come down to Torment getting a goal off of an own goal from someone like Gale Force, that curse still playing them second place yet again. And it was with 17 seconds left, just not enough time to keep it up.
Yeah, that is 3 lands now that Gale Force has been to, that they have come up in second place, so close. And you know that they've got to be hurting so bad that that's how that game ended. But my goodness, the Muffin Men, the story of a lifetime. I've been waiting and watching in Rocket League for so long for a true story that we could build an underdog story around. These guys come in and they've had lots of success online, but never tested on LAN. And they come up against all of the veteran players time and time again, and they beat them all one by one.
I mean, there's no doubt about it. Like, we've had questions as well. Like, at X Games, they're talking, you know, has NA closed the gap? How has it been? And for them to come to this tournament where the teams are stacked on both ends of the bracket, the pools have heavily weighted teams from all RLCS caliber talent, and for them to come out and prove it, not only in the sense of getting through their pools, but also to go through the teams that they do in the fashion that they do, there's no doubt in my mind that Muffin Men are going to be in RLCS this season.
Oh, Muffin Men making a name for themselves here, having to beat NRG, sweeping them off the top of the broadcast today. Nobody expected that sweep, and they come out and in 3 games cleanly beat NRG. And then in the semifinals, going to Game 6, which had a 5-minute overtime,
so
nearly 7
right?
games that they had to play against G2, and they come out, get the victory there, and then in the finals here, all the way to the very, very end, the final goal that clinched the deal, scored at 17 seconds off of a bounce off of a Gale Force player, and they are the champions. Here with us now, Squishy, Torment, Gimmick. Guys, tell me how it feels.
I don't know. I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
No words. I'm gonna say someone has been tagging me on Twitter every day, being like, "Can we get a Squishy Muffins interview, please?" And I think Torment told us, he's like, "If we win the whole thing, we'll have a Squishy Muffins interview." Here you are, and guys, walk me through this match. How did it feel? At what points? How was the emotions for you guys while you were playing?
It was actually super intense. We were so scared to do anything. We just knew that we played like the way we were playing with the first couple games when we won. We'd win, but they were playing better than they were before, and we just kept pounding shots on, and we actually got lucky enough to score one.
Yeah, walk me through the emotions of the 17-second own goal there at the end. Is that in any way how you thought it was going to end?
I don't know. It's perfect. That was the perfect thing that could have happened.
Yeah.
Because there was no way that was going in, right?
So I have a question for you, Squishy. Why have you been eluding us all weekend? People have been asking for it, they demand for it, and it finally, is it just because you wanted to save it for the win? Like you knew it was going to happen? Prophecy?
I didn't know it was going to happen, but I made them work for the interview.
Yeah.
Well, we're glad you're here finally.
You guys pulling off the victory here, and you had the roughest road to get here. Talk to me about the emotions of coming to DreamHack and winning. And I remember talking to Gimmick earlier. He was like, we had no expectations of getting this far, but here you are. How has this experience been for you overall, Squishy?
It's great. It's first LAN. We did pretty well. I wasn't expecting to make it this far, obviously, but you know, I'll take it. I'll take it.
Now, there's been a big question. Obviously, there's a ton of EU teams here. This is kind of your guys' first real experience in the aspect of not only playing without ping as an excuse, all that kind of stuff. What is it really like for you guys to play an EU team with no excuses, just you guys and your game?
Oh, they're the best to play against. They're so much fun. They're so good. They're like so hard to play against. I love it though.
So, do you want to talk about like the sheer difference, like the big notable differences between NA and EU?
They just rotate better. They're just faster and they're much smarter. They don't double commit much. they just rotate really well. They're hard to play against because of that.
You guys had to beat NRG, G2, and Gale Force to get this title. Which of the three, I mean, we can look at the number of games and probably say Gale Force, but like, which of the three did you feel like was the most difficult for you to get the win?
Definitely Gale Force.
Yeah?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, those guys, quite the crazy performance, but my gosh, it's been an amazing experience here at DreamHack Atlanta. We've had so much fun. We've got to thank our sponsors, got to thank HyperX, Twitch, Psyonix, and DreamHack for making this possible. I've gotten shout-outs from Gimmick, I've gotten shout-outs from Torment. Squishy, do you have any shout-outs for me?
My mom.
Mom, gotta
Keeping
thank
it
Mom.
real.
Thank you so much to everybody who has come out to watch here in the venue. Those of you watching at home, from me, Achieves, and Fickle, Lawler, Quinn, James Bott, the winning team here, the Muffin Men. Somebody pick these people up, please. They are some of the best teams we've ever seen. And from all of us here at DreamHack Atlanta, thank you so much. Good day, good night, have a good one. We'll see you around.